This segment brought to you by the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center in Oakley.
So a couple of weeks ago, there was a board meeting for the Santa Fe Trail Association. And of course, at the top of everyone's minds is COVID-19 and the cancellations that's caused, and what's that going to do to the 2021 commemoration of 200 years on the Santa Fe Trail. Well, we decided to extend it. So the commemoration will be 2021 through 2025. And there are so many significant dates during that 5-year span that we thought that was appropriate. We thought about doing that even before COVID-19 hit. So this gave us a good excuse to continue the commemoration and allow everybody to share in the story and to share the telling of their piece of the story of the Santa Fe Trail. And today we visit Franklin with Dave Kendall. And Dave has been bringing us segments of the trail, and we have just loved sharing these. And we're so thrilled that Dave and Prairie Hollow Productions are making these great segments all along the Santa Fe Trail.
The Santa Fe Trail is said to have originated at the town of Franklin, Missouri, located along the Missouri River about 150 miles west of St. Louis. New Franklin, as it's called, is actually a couple miles north of the river, where it was moved long ago after floods inundated the original site of the town. It was from here on September 1st of 1821 that 6 men loaded trade goods on their pack animals and headed west. William Becknell is credited with organizing that first expedition, which slowly made its way to Santa Fe. From Franklin, they proceeded along the north side of the river, crossing it a few miles upstream near the landing of the Arrow Rock Ferry. The ferry landing is now far removed from the river, which has since changed course. The town of Arrow Rock grew up in the hills above the river, where tourists can now stroll the boardwalk and sample the fare at an historic restaurant. About 75 miles further west along the Missouri River, Becknell and his associates stopped at Fort Osage, then a remote outpost on the edge of the frontier. Built a few years after this area became part of the United States through the Louisiana Purchase, the fort was established to develop relations with the Osage Indians who lived in the area. It served as both a trading post and as a sanctuary for travelers. Although the fort was abandoned in 1827, when Fort Leavenworth was established further to the west, it's been reconstructed and has been designated a National Historic Landmark. As Becknell's party headed on west from Fort Osage, they were entering a wild and undeveloped landscape. Passing through the area now known as Chief's Kingdom, where football currently rules the roost, and the scout looks out over a sprawling metropolis, they ventured into the land then designated as Indian Territory, which would later become the state of Kansas. As steamboats carried travelers further west along the Missouri River, the town of Franklin would be displaced by Independence and Westport as the eastern terminus of the trail. But Franklin, Missouri still retains its place in history as the cradle of the Santa Fe Trail.
Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on 3 main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people, just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.